Hello, my name is Anne, and today we'll talk about The Haunting of Ashburn House. Adrienne is broke. She has no family members, no friends. She's totally new to the community, and her only company is a cat named Wolfgang. She has a very blurry memory of the house from when she was a little girl, but she always thought she had dreamed it. Soon, she realizes that she had been there before. Indeed. As she explores her new home, she finds messages carved on the walls and the tables. A very welcoming house. There were messages on the walls where mirrors were supposed to be, like above the sink in the bathroom. There was a message that said no mirrors. And there was also this message by the window. Sorry. Is it Friday? Light a candle. Some women from the village visit her and tell her that her great aunt Edith, had been quite strange and kind of a loner, and that she never let anyone near the house. She had blocked the road that went through her driveway. She never spoke to anyone, and only went in town very early in the morning, right at the time when stores opened, and that she lit a candle every Friday at the topmost window of the house, where everyone can see it from town. And that's how they found out that she had died, because Friday came and there was no candle on the window. With that in mind, Adrienne finds an odd collection of candles and some newspaper clippings about a tragic event that happened to her family. Actually, great aunt Edith's family. On the property of the house, she also found a gravestone that was super old, and the name E. Ashburn was inscribed on it. At first she believes that E. Ashburn was Aunt Edith, obviously, but that couldn't be because the gravestone was pretty old, and her great aunt had just recently passed. Soon, Adrienne finds out about the tragic events that happened at the Ashburn house very many years ago. She finds out that the Ashburn family was slaughtered in the most horrific way. Edith, who was found in either the basement or the cupboard because witnesses didn't agree on that. She was found anyway in one of the places, but it was locked from the outside, and she was the only survivor. She was also the primary suspect, but due to her young age and the brutality of the murders, she was dismissed quickly and was sent to live with her grandparents. So I won't go into much detail about what happens afterwards, because I want to talk mostly about the atmosphere of the story. And so let me say a few things first. This book is the perfect example of successful atmosphere building. Darcy Coates excels at establishing mystery, and after reading The Haunting of Ashburn House, I also read a short story of hers, which I don't remember the title of. Something called Dark Lake, I think. I don't remember, something with a lake. But this story, the tension was unbearable. And I remember late at night I would listen to the audiobook and I just couldn't stop listening until I could find out what's happening. The predicaments that Adrienne found herself captured my intrigue, and I kept listening on, all while encountering new clues, which in turn, the clues made me even more anxious to know what's happening. However, there is an unnecessary focus on details in several places that do not relate to the story. And the background story of Adrienne was a little poor and not very revealing of her life before she went to Ashburn House. And, well, if you know me, you know I love a great character backstory. And Adrian didn't have one. I like backstories and I like to see characters grow for better or for worse. And I think Adrian didn't evolve much. She just like got to from the beginning to the end of the book. She was the exact same person, but the only difference was that now she knew what had happened to her family years ago. If we knew her better, we could have had, more empathy. Altogether, it's a captivating story that captures the reader's interest, but it stays at that. The author effectively casts and foreshadows what's coming, and she does that very successfully. This book offers a horrifying atmosphere, and even though I personally would have appreciated more details into Adrian's life, I still enjoyed this book very much. The the explanation of the paranormal didn't sit quite well with me. I don't want to spoil anything with this book, but I can say that I didn't like the story about the twin, and that's all I can say. I think I'm giving out too much information already. But the fact that Adrian was left to follow Edith's duties for the rest of her life at the end of the book, like lighting a candle at the uppermost window of the house for the whole village to see. I mean, it could have been kind of improved if the author wanted it to be more gloomy, but it wasn't that gloomy. It wasn't a terrible ending. It was a happy ending. The build-up of the book was so terrifying. Like, I feel that this book had a great potential to like scare me. I don't get scared easily, but this book could have done it. It was so close. But the ending was just too happy and soothing. Kind of anticlimactic, but that's just my personal preference. However, the joyous ending isn't all that bad, because I think this book is a great jumpstart for someone who doesn't read horror books. You're not that much into horror, but you would like to start reading and you don't know where to start. The Haunting of Ashburn House is a great place to start. And also this book here. It's very spooky and intriguing, but it's not appallingly horrifying. And it could make a great Halloween read. Well, have you read The Haunting of Ashburn House? Well, I hope you do. And let me know what other books you want me to talk about down in the comments. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.